Hello and welcome to a daily yoga practice. This practice will be pretty mellow. You don't need props if you don't want them, but having two blocks might be nice, and having a blanket might be nice to cushion the floor under your knees if your knees are sensitive to hard surfaces. Otherwise, I invite you to find a comfortable seat with your hips propped up on a block or a folded blanket or a pillow or something, and just meet me here. We'll get started simply by finding a nice tall spine, sitting up. Maybe even adjusting the flesh of your glutes so that your sit bones touch the surface that you're sitting on. Reach the crown of your head taller to the sky without jutting your ribs forward. You want to keep those ribs nice and flat so that they're not flaring outwards. No need to be in a back bend right now. And I invite you to just take the next few moments to breathe in and out through your nose. Relax your forehead, your eyebrows, your jaw. Let your shoulders fall away from your ears. And maybe even find a gentle sway. Arriving to practice is the hardest part, and now you get to just be here, focusing on the space immediately around you on your mat and nothing else. As you breathe, I invite you to play with expanding your ribs out to the side and behind you, and expanding your belly a little bit in front of you, but not too much. No need to protrude your belly aggressively. Just seeing if you can feel your ribs expand on the inhale and relax on the exhale. As you continue to breathe, I invite you to begin rolling your shoulders forwards and up and back, either at the same time or one at a time. Get your elbows involved, spread your fingers, maybe wiggle your fingers around. Starting to twist a little bit in your spine while you roll your shoulders. And reverse the direction. Awesome. Take your hands and place them on your shoulders, thumbs in the back, fingertips in the front, and just roll your elbows into big circles. Check back in with your ribs. Make sure you're not flaring your ribs forward and getting into a back bend. Continue to breathe, relax your face, and just open up your shoulders a little bit more. Reverse the direction you're rolling your shoulders with your elbows. Awesome. You can release your hands, and in your own time, make your way to your hands and your knees. This might be a good moment to place a folded blanket under your knees if you have sensitive knees. Now place your hands underneath your shoulders, your knees under your hips, and spread your fingers really wide so that you can see the mat or the floor in between them. And push into the ground with your fingertips. and with the base of your fingers, almost making like a little cup with the center of your palm. Here, we're just going to make some circles around our hands to mobilize our wrists. Continuing to breathe in your ribs, relax your face, and go in your circles in the other direction. Excuse my sniffles. I'm just getting over being a little sick right now, but that's okay because we can do yoga even when we're sick. Awesome. So you'll pause the circles, and now we're just going to, on your inhale, lift the heel of your hand and bend into your fingers. Do this very slowly because your fingers might be tight. And then exhale, lower the heel of your hand. Ooh, inhale, lift the heel of your hand, very slow, stretch your fingers. Exhale, lower it. And do that a couple more times at your pace, whatever feels good for you. Alrighty. Now place the tops of your hands on the mat. If you have sensitive wrists, maybe just do one hand at a time. And you can either have your fingers open or you can close your hands into as much of a fist as possible. And we're just stretching the other side of your forearms here. So you can make very little circles or you can be still, depends on how intense this is for you right now. If you're only doing one hand, switch hands now. Awesome. Let's bring our hands back to a neutral position, coming to tabletop. You're going to tuck your toes and sit back on your heels to stretch the bottoms of your feet. While sitting on your heels like this, I invite you to just roll out your neck a little bit. On the exhale, tucking your chin. And inhale to roll your head over to one side, either making a complete circle or pausing on this side to take a couple of breaths. If you've been paused on your next exhale, tuck your chin through center again and inhale to roll up in the other direction. If you've been making circles, just switch the direction you're making your circles. Breathe, relax your face. Send your inhale to expand your neck and allow your exhale to help you release the tension. Do a couple more breaths of whatever neck stretch is calling you the most. You can keep switching your directions. You can stick your head back and really open your throat. Just make sure your jaw stays relaxed and you keep breathing. Slowly make your way back to tabletop. Untuck your toes and tap the tops of your feet. Grip the mat with your hands, spread fingers, cupping your palms, really engaging your hands here. On your next inhale, sink your belly to the floor, lift your tailbone and your chin for cow pose. Exhale, tuck your tailbone, suck your low belly up and in, push away from the floor and tuck your chin last. For cat. Inhale to cow. Exhale to cat. Alternate between these two poses at the pace of your own breath for a couple of rounds. Find a neutral spine again. We're going to slowly make our way to a high plank just as a transition. And on your next exhale, send your hips up and back into a downward facing dog. Taking a moment here and just walk out your dog, bending one knee and then the other. Wag your tail. Play with the sensation in the back of your legs. Look at your feet. Spread your fingers and really grip the ground. Send your heart towards your knees. It might be fun to try bending your knees and sticking your butt towards the ceiling, kind of putting an arch in your lower back, and seeing if you can straighten your knees and explore how that changes the stretch. Spicier, huh? Amazing. On your next inhale, lift your right leg straight back. No need to try to reach it to the sky. Just kind of put it back behind you. And exhale to bring that foot in between your hands and drop your back knee. Coming to a low lunge. And this is where having the blocks might be nice. You can place them on either side of your foot in the tall setting and just use them to bring the floor closer to you. If you don't have blocks, you can just put your fingertips down or your hands. It just kind of depends on what you got. Or you can even make this a little more strengthening and just support yourself with your muscles instead of putting your hands on the ground. But I like to use these blocks. So if you have blocks or big books, go for it. So on your next inhale, you're going to shift your hips forward, lift your heart and your chin, and sink into this stretch. And on your next exhale, you'll send your hips back and down, straighten your front leg, and bow over it. Inhale forwards and up. Stretch your left hip flexor and whatever else is feeling like it's getting stretched. Exhale, hips back and down, straighten your front leg, and stretch the back of that leg. Inhale forward and up, low lunge. Exhale back and down, forward fold in a runner's stretch. And keep on doing that to the pace of your own breath. You can play with pointing and flexing your front foot when you go back into the runner's stretch. To change the experience, maybe even pause in that runner's stretch and point and flex your foot a couple of times on your next exhale. Ooh-wee. Nice. Come back to a low lunge and place your left hand on the ground inside your right foot. You can put it on a block too if you'd like. And on your next inhale, just open your right arm to the sky and twist in that direction. Just take a couple of breaths here. Relax your face. Show your heart to the sky. Maybe even look up at your right hand if you're feeling spicy. On your next exhale, come back down. Plant your hands firmly. Tuck your back toes. Inhale into a high plank. Exhale into downward facing dog. Pause here for a breath or two. And when you're ready, you'll inhale your left foot up and then exhale to step it forward, coming to the low lunge with the left foot in front. Just resetting to do that flow on this side. So once you've got yourself situated, on your next inhale, you'll shift your hips forward, sink deeper into the stretch, lift your chest and your chin. Exhale, hips back and down, bow over your front leg as you straighten it. Continuing to flow through these two poses to the pace of your own breath, remembering to relax your face and breathe nice and deep and slow, in and out through your nose if you can. On your next exhale, I invite you to pause in the runner's stretch and play with pointing and flexing your toes if you haven't done so already. Awesome. And come back to the low lunge. Plant your right hand on the ground or on the block. And inhale your left arm to the sky. And just pausing here. Show your heart to the sky. Relax your face. And breathe. Maybe even look up at your left hand if that feels accessible for you. On your next exhale, coming back down, planting your hands firmly. Tuck your back toes, step back into a high plank, and continue to breathe as you just tiptoe walk your feet towards your hands. Then place your feet hips distance apart or a little wider, and feel free to bend your knees if you need to. Inhale, run your fingers up your shins and gaze forward to a flat back. And exhale, bow forward into a fold and just surrender. Nod your head, yes and no. Bend your knees as much as you need. Try to tilt your tailbone towards the sky, really bending at your hips. You can just let your arms hang on the floor. You could grab opposite elbows, make your torso a little heavier. And I invite you to just sway back and forth for a couple of breaths here. Maybe letting out a few sighs, maybe taking your hands and cupping around your neck so your elbows are kind of cradling your face. You could use this to pull a little traction on your neck, or you can take your fingers and give yourself a little head massage. For a couple of breaths, really squish your scalp around, rub your temples, maybe pull on your ears. And when you're ready, We're going to inhale, sliding back up to halfway lift. Fingers up the shins, gazing forward. Exhale to bring your hands to your hips. And inhale to stand all the way up. Exhale, drop your hands by your side. Inhale, reach them up to the sky. And exhale, bring them down together in front of your heart. Drop your hands down by your side. Place your feet hips distance apart, toes facing forward. And just take a moment to find your center again. Enjoy a few more sweet breaths and express gratitude to yourself for showing up and enjoying a little yoga practice today. Thank you so much for practicing with me.